Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we're gonna talk about our story about recurrent miscarriages and how we are healing from it. So we're just gonna tell you a little bit of our backstory, how these 3 miscarriages took place. We're gonna be a little bit brief on this, guys. But if you want to see the whole detailed story, we have made another video before, so I'll link it below in the description so that you guys can watch the video if you guys are interested in finding out exactly how it took place. We were very specific on that video, but it all began back in 2022. Back in 2022, my husband and I, we decided to try to have another baby after 9 years of waiting. Just because our daughter was 9 and we were like, you know what, she wants a sibling, we want another baby, let's try it. So in 2022, we had no problems conceiving, everything was fairly quickly, we were all very excited. We had planned a trip for our vow renewal, and we went on that trip, and before going on that trip, we went to check with our OBG provider, and OBG provider said everything was fine, so we took the trip. Came back from the trip. At that time, I think I was about 10 weeks pregnant. And unfortunately, when we went into the doctor's office, there was no heartbeat at that time. So it was very frustrating for us, friends, because before we took the trip, we had gone into the doctor's office. Our baby was strong. The heartbeat was strong. Everything was great. I was doing great. And coming back and checking that baby again and not finding a heartbeat was very devastating for us.
Yes. For us and for our daughter.
And for our daughter, yes.
Because she was present. She
was present at that time, exactly. We wanted to take her at that time because we had had other ultrasounds prior, but she wasn't present because obviously she was attending school. And this time we wanted to make it special for her, right? We wanted her to hear the baby's heartbeat, and it was very, very, very heartbroken to not hear the baby heartbeat. And it was something that we struggle with on how to explain that to her. How can, you know, bad things happen to good people, like a lot of people say, right? But
because she was really expecting this baby, and
yeah,
she was so happy.
Forward.
We bought clothing. Bella was able to pick different kinds of clothing for the baby.
They were gonna match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very hard, friends. It was very hard because, like you mentioned, I don't come from a history of miscarriages in my family either, like on my side of the family, nor on your side of the family, nor I know anyone that has gone through a miscarriage, like personally. You know, I've seen stories obviously here on YouTube, and I've heard of co-workers, for example, their friends going through a miscarriage, but nothing really like close and related to me that I'm like, oh, you know, that could spark that, oh, you know, I would have a miscarriage at some point in my life. Never did. I am a very healthy person too. You know, doctors always tell me on my checkups and on my OBG checkups, you're healthy, you can try to get pregnant whenever you want to. So there was no red flags in my history at all in regards to this. And for this to happen, it's kind of like, whoa, like what's going on?
We don't know if it's the food nowadays or what it is, but we keep hearing this more and more often in social media, church, for it, anywhere we are at, we hear, oh yeah, this lady wasn't able to conceive, that women are not able to have babies or miscarriages. Before, people were able to have many babies.
Yes, I know everybody continues to say, especially, you know, the medical providers, that when you're getting a little older, it gets even tougher, right?
Yeah.
So when we experienced this situation, I think it was 39 at that time, and back in 2022 when the first one happened. So as women, we have that little clock that is ticking, ding, 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 you know, and it feels so overwhelming and so stressful and full of, you know, anxiety, knowing, hey, I'm trying to conceive, I'm trying to get pregnant, but the days continue to pass, the months continue to pass, and I'm just getting a little older and a little older, and it just causes a lot of stress on women, especially because with men, you know, they have the opportunity to have that last longer than women, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's just very frustrating, and it's something that is hard. It's hard to accept. It's hard to accept, and it's hard to accept that it's not gonna be an easy journey as you expected it. Like, you know, like us with our first one, we decided to get pregnant, and we got pregnant right away within a few months, and everything was happy. Everything was perfectly fine. And then waiting 9 years to try again, and then you encounter these issues, it's just like you don't understand what's going on. So
Yes.
sometimes, you know, people blame themselves. Like us, for example, we were at that point where we were like, oh, was it because we traveled? You know, maybe if I would have not traveled, I would have stayed. But there was nothing in my chart that would indicate that I couldn't travel. I was healthy, you know, I have no history of it. Nothing was pointing out that I shouldn't do any certain things.
To be honest with you guys, we have not said anything to no one. So we're actually doing this through YouTube because we might help other couples that are going through this situation.
Find comfort in such a hard moment.
Because we were trying to find comfort, and we were trying to find answers when we were going through this situation.
Yes, it's just really hard when you don't have family that you can count on and you can rely on and be like, hey, you know, can I open up to you and talk to you what's going on? Or a friend, a really close friend that, you know, you can share this with. It's really difficult going through this situation alone, but we are grateful to have each other. We are grateful to have each other, and he's very supportive, and I am so very grateful with that. And Bella too, even though she's young, she's very mature for her age, and she's very, very supporting. So we are blessed. We are blessed. We always have to count our blessings. Doesn't matter what we're going through. But yeah, that is the first miscarriage that we have gone through. The second one happened in 2023 in October, right before my birthday, right before turning 40. So as you can imagine how hard that would be, me fighting against time and trying to reach this dream of becoming a mom again and expanding my family, and finding out that it's not gonna be possible. But this situation, it happened because of my HCG levels. They were not increasing. We heard a heartbeat on one ultrasound visit, and the heartbeat wasn't as strong as the technician wanted it to be, or as it should be by the time that I was pregnant, as far as the time that I was pregnant. So it wasn't looking good, friends, and I ended up having a DNC procedure for that one because the baby was not growing and the heartbeat stopped. It stopped growing, so it never really turned into anything more than 7.5 weeks pregnant. So that was hard. That was hard at this time.
And what was more hard, because we did hear the heartbeat, but it was
It's not as strong.
Not a strong heartbeat that as a normal pregnancy. For us, hearing a heartbeat was perfect for us. We're like, what's going on?
We were in denial of accepting what was going on. We were like, this cannot be happening to us again. You know, at this time, I was even more cautious of what I was eating, what I was doing in regards to my workout routine. I lowered everything down because I like to lift weights.
You were resting more.
I was resting more, so I decreased my exercise routines a lot when we decided to try to conceive again, to try to have another baby. So I watched even more things than with the first one. That was so easy, and I didn't even do anything, and I still got pregnant with the second one fairly easy. And I just didn't understand, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Is it something that I'm doing wrong, or what's going on? Just the confusion and frustration. But at this point, I had a second DNC procedure for my second miscarriage at just about 40, a couple of days before turning 40. And it's just very difficult. It's very, very difficult. it's very difficult getting your heart broken again and having the dream of having your baby, and then the second attempt, it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
But
we wanted to just, we say, we didn't want it to give up, but we just say, you know what, we're just gonna
leave it in God's
leave
hands.
it in God's hands. And soon enough, we found out that you were pregnant once again.
So I found out that I was pregnant once again around May-ish of 2024. So it had been fairly fast after the October of 2023 last miscarriage. And like you mentioned, we weren't trying, but we were also keeping an open mind that if it happened, we were gonna let it happen. So when we found out this third time, we were like, oh my goodness. We wanted to jump of happiness, but at the same time, we didn't know what was coming our way. So it's a very different feeling. Like, it doesn't let you, if someone hasn't gone through a miscarriage, they don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure if someone has gone through it, they know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like a feeling that doesn't let you be happy, but at the same time, you want to be so happy, but at the same time, you feel a little sad because you don't know what's coming your way.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of emotions all together, and we just continue to pray and say, God, please let this be, the one for us, and let this not repeat itself and be something that is not gonna happen and everything. But things seem to be going okay at first. And at around 7.5 weeks, my doctor was very confused at what was going on because I had an ultrasound and there was a yolk. There was a sac that was visible in the ultrasound, but there was no yolk. The sac was empty. So my HCG levels at that point were not increasing, but they were not dropping. They were staying at that level, and they needed to increase, obviously, right? But they were staying at that level. And my doctor wasn't really sure what was going on, nor the ultrasound technician. The ultrasound technician just mentioned that it could be because maybe I'm actually less weeks pregnant than what they were anticipating. I could be less, it could be way too early, and that is why. Or she said that I need to talk to my OBG. So bottom line, this pregnancy ended up being a blighted ovum pregnancy, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which what that means is a condition that occurs when gestational sac develops without an embryo. So basically, I had a gestational sac, but no embryo. So this was different from the previous two, and I was blown away with what was going on. And my doctor didn't even tell me that that was what's going on. I ended up finding out what was going on with me before she even told me by watching YouTube videos and being able to relate to other women on their journey, on what they were going through. And at the end of the day, she ended up telling me that that was what was going on. So with my pregnancy. And it was just very difficult. It was just very difficult. But in this situation, in this case, I ended up having a miscarriage at home. I didn't even have time to have a DNC procedure. It was a miscarriage that happened at home over a weekend where I had cramping and bleeding, and I passed the tissue through, and I didn't even know it was happening.
It was hard for us again. And but we have decided not to give up, right?
Yes, we have decided not to give up. It's been almost a year ever since the last miscarriage in 2024, and it is January of 2025, and we still have that dream. We still have that dream. We have prayed on it, and it doesn't seem to go away. So we are taking it as God has better plans for us than this. So we have decided to continue to pursue this dream after finding healing, friends, because we know that it is not easy to cope with this type of trauma, with this type of experience. It's very hard, but we have to remember that we can do all things to Christ who strengthens us. So things sometimes can be hard and we don't understand why they happen, why bad things happen to good people, but
we keep applying our faith.
We keep applying our faith.
Because it's just something that we want to. We really do. And we're praying this time.
Yeah.
And we do have a lot of hope. And we do want to put everything in God's hands. But this time we are a little more experienced from our 3 last miscarriages that we had. And we know that there's a possibility out there for us.
Yeah. And we are mature, and we are mature enough now, and like you say, the experience has helped us to accept, if for some reason it doesn't happen, but we don't want to say that because we always want to maintain a positive mind. But we are okay accepting the outcome of it. So of our decision of continuing to try one more time. I don't have any fertility problems because I can get pregnant on my own. We can get pregnant on our own, but it's just retaining the pregnancy what is becoming difficult for us. So we're just trusting in God. That is the best way to heal.
Yes.
From this, trusting in God and trusting that He is in control and that He knows. Before things happen, He already knows what's gonna happen and why it happened. So we have to trust in His good judgment and know that maybe those 3 pregnancies weren't coming, they weren't gonna be successful in some other way, even if they would have been born, I don't know. He knows best. So we have to stop blaming ourselves for things that we think that we might have done to contribute to a miscarriage. We have to know that we haven't done anything wrong. It wasn't because we traveled, like in our case, or because I didn't eat this or I didn't eat that. None of that.
We can't blame ourselves.
We cannot blame ourselves. Sometimes it's just genetics, how it is, with the food, the chromosomes. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert. But, a lot has to do with the food nowadays, that there's just so many preservatives and chemicals on it. And I don't know.
We don't know what is.
I don't know.
If we knew the answer, right? But just like other parents that have gone through the same or they're going through the same situation that, of a miscarriage, we all want answers. We all want to know why or what did I do wrong, like Ruby was saying. But unfortunately here we cannot. All we have is faith. In our faith, keep applying our faith, keep praying, and that's all we're gonna do. Yes,
our faith needs to keep us going strong, declaring great things in our lives for our family. Sometimes I think that even though we want something so much, but we still at the back of our mind are thinking that it's not gonna happen. So sometimes that can also contribute to it, because our mouth, God says that on our mouth we have a lot of power, and everything that we declare, is important because we're speaking it out, and we have to make sure that we're speaking out righteousness, good things, not bad things, right?
Yeah.
And even though we were always so positive through our 3 pregnancies, I still have to be honest. After the first one, the next 2, still at the back of my mind, I was always like, this is not gonna happen. And sometimes our own mind plays tricks on us and makes us believe what is not actually happening, but at the end of the day it turns out to be in that. So we have to be very cautious with our thoughts, with what we think.
Have a positive mind.
Have a positive mindset. We have also made another video, I'll link it below as well if you guys want to see it, on how to manifest the right way. Well, in our opinion, how to manifest so that it can happen. You know, we have learned through all this, you know, you have to be positive. I'll link it below, but always the key is always applying God in your life and knowing that there's a way for everything, and accepting if sometimes things don't come to pass are for a reason. But don't lose hope. If you still have the possibility of trying another time like us, don't lose hope. Perhaps discuss this with your partner and decide what's best for both of you. And if it is, then give it one more shot. You know, you never know. You might get the baby after all. You might get to have a baby after all, you know. But I just feel like what's most important is to not blame yourselves for anything that you have done wrong. You haven't done anything wrong, and you just have to continue to move forward.
Yeah, and if this video reaches out to people that have gotten hope, we're more than welcome to hear your suggestions and your comments.
Yeah, and if you guys, if anyone has gone through the same situation like us, and you guys know of some new method out there or something that could potentially help us achieve a healthy pregnancy and have the baby, please let us know below in the comment section. We will love to read your comments. And just let us know your story. We will love to relate to you, let you know that you're not alone, that hopefully this video gives you comfort, and know that it is a common thing. A miscarriage, unfortunately, nowadays is becoming more common than ever.
And we hope and we pray that that changes.
Yes, we do. We really do, because babies are beautiful and
they bring joy to your life. We know that children, you know, it's a lot of responsibility, but along with that, it comes joy, it comes love. They love you so much.
They give you so much
They bring
love.
so much, and that is why we're hoping to have another baby.
Yes. Yeah, but thank you so much for watching our video. If you guys haven't subscribed to our channel, if you guys are new, hope you can consider subscribing to our channel, friends. And thank you to our returning subscribers. We will see you on our next video.
God blessings.
Blessings.
Bye.
Bye.